Greetings, people. I come in peace. Is Anthony Joshua expending his essential vital energy getting into spats with the likes of Carl Froch and Daniel Dubois, amongst others? AJ has an important fight coming up with a dangerous opponent for a world title. He doesn't need to control what Daniel Dubois says. He'll be in the ring with him soon and be able to teach, admonish and chastise the young neophyte. Maybe. He's not a statuette or an effigy. He's here to fight and win as well, you know. Daniel has remodeled himself. He's grown, matured, and he's finding out a lot about himself. So his remarks to AJ, while antagonistic, was just him reasserting, declaring to AJ and the world that he's arrived. I don't blame AJ for his reaction. Daniel did seem to be offering AJ out publicly, so a response wasn't surprising. They are fighters, combatants, after all. It just seems that AJ has been getting into needless back and forths lately. Not of his own doing, mind you, but it is his choice whether to get drawn in or not. In Froch's case, the more you give him, the more he takes. He's like a black hole drawing you into its vortex. He has a channel to advance, so he loves the attention, especially from someone like AJ. I personally think Carl's a bit of an egotist, which he can be quite humorous about. The 90,000 at Wembley, being a Hall of Famer, having a granite chin, never quits, yada yada yada. You know, the rest.
You know, I was just raised a little bit different, Carl. You know, the way my father raised me, we don't pat ourselves on the back. We don't call ourselves great. We let other people do that. Too premature to call yourself a legend. If you want to call yourself great, and, you know, that's up to you. You know, I saw the real Buzz, Carl Froch, 2 times in that fight. I saw Robert McCracken, who I respect and believe is a really good trainer, pleading with Carl in the corner, mate, please don't blow this fight. I saw Carl on his knees prior to the fight with Darrell, hoping for a victory in his hometown. But then he gets up and he says, oh, that was a piece of cake, that was a cakewalk. In terms of the mind game, everybody ignores when Kessler buckled Carl Froch. And it's not a knock because it happens. This is professional boxing. But he gets the tag of granite chin. I just think what's not likable is the, you know, the extra bravado, you know, the extras that are...
Absolutely.
But putting private messages out in public is a snidey move, which he excuses as him being honest. Well, that's a weak and flimsy excuse. No, Carl, honesty doesn't make you disclose, exhibit and circularize exclusive private messages. Particularly when you think about it, he's the one that sent the message to AJ, aggressively asking him, who the F are you calling a prick? Even encouraging and inciting conflict by saying, do something about it then, bitch. Well, who's acting like a plastic gangster now? To engage AJ in a back and forth and then antagonize him, then put it up for all to see, is a dishonest, unscrupulous maneuver. Bit of a setup, proxy-like, agent move.
FBI?
Why wouldn't AJ think of him as a prick? Come on. I'm baffled Carl could seriously be surprised. Maybe because AJ said it publicly.
Sam, you can dish it out, but you're getting so you can't take it no more. You're through.
Carl Froch has been extremely critical of AJ over the years. A constant cynic. And he might call it constructive criticism, but it's more like public degradation for hits and likes. Froch himself calls his messages from AJ gold dust, emphasizing the nefarious nature of his exchange with Joshua. I bet Carl couldn't believe his luck when AJ responded to his message. Carl threw out the bait and AJ bit, giving Carl lots of content to dine on. He's clearly an attention seeker. Now I think he even wants to meet face to face with AJ. Please. What's he going to get out of that? AJ is an active boxer. Carl is retired. Let AJ get on with his life and you get on with yours. I hope AJ doesn't give Carl any more fuel. he actually gets off on it. Carl Froch has his own opinions, and he's allowed to have them. It doesn't mean he's right. A lot of the time, he's not. He has his own angles and reasons for saying the things he does. Yes, he is a bit of an imp, a hobgoblin, a troll. So AJ shouldn't get drawn in. AJ should take a little bit of comfort from the let them theory.
So I've been using this thing called the let them theory. I love this. I want you to try it. Here's how it works. The next time you spend so much time and energy trying to control other people and getting emotionally worked up about things that are beyond your control. You can tap into peace and true control if you let them be themselves. And here's the other thing. If you let them, people will then reveal who they truly are. And when they reveal who they truly are to you, you now know what you can choose next that's right for you. So let them.
When you let them do, say, whatever it is that they want to, it creates more control and emotional peace for you, a better relationship with the people in your life. None of us can control what people say about us, so it's pointless getting out of shape about it. Let your success tell the story. If you know who you are, who cares what Carl thinks? He's probably jealous, and I think AJ knows that. Hence AJ sending Froch pictures of himself counting money, which isn't AJ's style. It's a bit corny, but was a deliberate attempt to get under Froch's skin. I'd say don't waste your time. Now Froch has spun it as AJ isn't really humble. Well, not to you, because you act like he's got something of yours. As far as I can see, AJ has never been ostentatious. He's been reasonably discreet in his display of wealth. You don't see him dripping in overpriced Homer Simpson type jewellery, particularly compared to other boxers. It's obvious he was trying to get up Froch's nose. Why doesn't Froch talk about AJ planning to build a care home for ex-boxers? Why doesn't Froch talk about that with enthusiasm? He's an ex-boxer. Doesn't he care? No, he wouldn't do that. It's all about himself and cliques. AJ needs to let go and let them. Froch has no relevance to him and probably never will. He'll want to make a spectacle of the situation. Don't give it any more oxygen, AJ. You should just laugh him off. You see, Carl Froch likes to think of himself as an honest, straight-talking tough guy. He reminds me of a slightly unhinged bully that you can have a laugh with as long as you don't deviate or disagree with him. Under it all, he can be malicious, condescending, spiteful, and vindictive. He's constantly rubbing people up the wrong way. He does it under the guise of him being honest and telling the truth when others won't. Well, he doesn't have to be rude and disrespectful. I've never paid Froch much attention since he's left boxing, but listening to him on and off over the past weeks and months, I think he has a personal dislike for AJ. He's simply jealous and resentful. I think he thought of himself as one of Britain's darlings, one of the greats, and he might be, but he sees AJ as stealing his thunder. He's constantly going on about being in the Hall of Fame, and AJ would be lucky to be inducted into it. Carl says things like, every time AJ stepped up, he's been found wanting. Keep in mind, this is a guy who thought AJ was avoiding Wilder. He believed that Wilder would have beaten him. He said Otto Wallin would beat him. He said AJ was avoiding Fury. Now that's deliberate nonsense. You only have to scratch the surface to know that's bunkum. He called AJ a cowardly lion. He said AJ's overachieved in boxing. These aren't thinly veiled insults or constructive criticism, as he calls it. They are vicious and flagrant bombardments, a barrage of defamation. And all AJ called him was a prick? Come on. AJ has put away everybody Carl thought would give him problems. And AJ has a better resume than all the current top heavyweights. That's a fact.
In London, you said that Carl talks too much. He likes to hear himself talk, but he really doesn't know what he's talking about.
Another thing that Carl likes to use to humiliate and denigrate Joshua is his loss to Ruiz, saying AJ quit. A cheap shot. The referee stopped the fight. AJ didn't quit. He was shocked the fight was stopped, and I believe he should have been allowed to carry on. It was a weird stoppage in my eyes. but it goes to show how desperate Froch is to belittle AJ. Froch is toxic. Froch is a negative persona trying to pour water on everybody's fire under the guise of bringing people the truth. I think Carl should quit while he's ahead concerning AJ. His tone is extremely confrontational. He can't fight with AJ. He's not an Usyk type character, and AJ isn't a John Fury. Froch will make noise like he can do something. I don't know, maybe he really thinks he can do something. That's his prerogative. AJ's hands are tied. It wouldn't go well if he bumps into Carl Froch and tucks him in. Froch would soon be playing the innocent victim then, like the way he looked when Andre Ward was violating him in the ring. His limitations exposed for all to see. AJ has said too much already and has given Froch too much airplay, consideration and contemplation. Ignore him and let them do what they're doing. Let them. Anyway, thanks for listening, and remember, choose life.
Let them. There are those who will laugh at you. Let them laugh. There are those who will hate you. Let them hate. There are those who will worry about you. Let them worry. There are those who will not like to see you succeed. Let them. There are those who will love you. Let them. There are those who will support you. Let them. There are those who will help you. Let them. There are those who will trust you. Let them. And when you let them, it all becomes the same for you. Everything fuels you. Everything supports you. And you can be grateful for it all.